So I need to do two apologies before I start. First, sorry this review is so late, it should have been out ages ago. And secondly, to the filmmakers of this film, I really thought I was not going to enjoy this film and really did not think I was going to like it, but I was really surprised. So apologies to the filmmakers. And with that guys, let's get into it. Harley Quinn and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Bloody hell, that's a tongue twister of a title to start off this whole thing with. Really shouldn't have been called that, and I'm going to go delve straight into that straight away. This should have been Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. That should have been the title, because this is, as all the critics have been going on already and saying, it is a Harley Quinn film. The Birds of Prey are in there and they do a great job, but this is a Harley Quinn film. No doubt about it. So, with that being said, I did go into this film thinking I was going to hate it. After the Suicide Squad film, I genuinely thought, uh-oh, we're into trouble again here. And normally I'm pretty open-minded, and normally I try to keep as big an open mind as ever for any film that I go and see. But unfortunately with this one, I couldn't get Suicide Squad out of my head and how badly that was done. But, what a surprise! This film was actually really good. This film, I was really entertained. And that is the biggest thing I've taken away from it. I actually enjoyed it. Now, the big thing that made this film was this lady, Margot Robbie. She was just fantastic. She epitomises Harley Quinn. She gives us the Harley Quinn that we want from a live action Harley Quinn. And yes, the costuming and things, there's questions about that. I'll go into that later. But she is Harley Quinn. And even some of the artists and writers for the comics have said that Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn. So why she's getting slated, I really don't understand. But she did do the film, and she did do the film great. So the presence of this film is basically that Harley Quinn and the Joker have broken up, and that has made Harley have a massive target on her back. Cassandra Cain has then stolen a diamond from Black Mask, and they're on the hunt for this kid, and Harley gets mixed up in it all, and along with the Birds of Prey. And that's the basic premise of the film. Not a massive interesting storyline. It does make me think of Snatch, but hey, it works. It works the story and it does really well. So the main bad guy in this film is Ewan McGregor as Black Mask Roman Sionis, and he does a great job, but it's sort of weird to explain, so let me go into that. Ewan McGregor blatantly had fun playing this role, and he went out of his way to make this a fun, psychotic character that Black Mask is. However, it goes a little bit too far towards the second half of the film, and he's a bit camp and he's a bit just over the top. And when he first started out being psychotic and peeling people's faces off and things, that was the Black Mask that we were expecting. But then it just went a bit OTT, and I mean, he had blatantly had a blast playing this character, went all out on it, but it just didn't quite work towards the end. And towards the end I was just thinking, yeah, it just wasn't great. But what I will say is, all the other actors in this film, they all had a blast doing it, and none of it is traditional, which part of me liked. I am a stickler for traditional comic books. I grew up on the traditional comic books and the traditional characters. None of this sticks to that. Black Mask isn't how we expect. I mean, the best rendition I think we've had of Black Mask is probably from the Arkham games. Ewan McGregor completely went off on his own one. Black Canary, Huntress, and all the characters, and even Margot Robbie's Harley went slightly off peak every now and then, but in a way that was good. And all the renditions are just different from anything we've seen before. And that, to me, I thought I was going to make me hate it, but instead it actually made me enjoy it more, seeing these different takes on these classic characters. So I actually really enjoyed it. And the actress that plays Black Canary, Jesus, does she kick ass. And I love the actress that played Huntress. A little bit quirky, not your traditional Huntress. I would love to see her in a Huntress movie. as a solo, that would be fantastic to see, and that's my phone. Stupid freaking thing. Oh, and also, if you can hear things in the background, that's my daughter and her best friend downstairs playing on the Xbox. Anyway, back to the movie. So, what I want to say is, don't go in this expecting a traditional comic book film. Go into this with very open mind. I didn't. I went in slightly closed mind, fully admit it, and was really surprised at how well it went. The other thing, costuming. Wow. Wow. It's not anything that we've seen before. It was more out there, more random. Did I like it? Not really. Wasn't my cup of tea, especially Ewan McGregor's Black Mask. You only see him in the mask for 5 minutes of the movie, really, and the rest of the time he's mask off and in some really strange outfits, some really eccentric stuff, which, again, that was what they were going for, but to me that's not Black Mask. And again, with Black Canary, no. She just, gorgeous looking girl, gorgeous actress, gorgeous. It just made me feel like she was wearing a normal clothes that she'd be wearing at home probably. Huntress is a little bit more closer to the traditional Huntress with the purple and the black and the combat gear. That was quite nice, but again, it was very subtly done and very cleverly done to be in keeping with the rest of the characters and how they were costumed. So yeah, I'm a bit on the costuming. I can't make up my mind. When this film started, the first sort of 10-15 minutes of the movie, I wasn't enjoying the soundtrack. Nothing was giving me that, yeah, this is, you know, nothing was giving me goosebumps or nothing was giving me... But as the film went on, the soundtrack just seemed to get better and better and better, to the point where now I have actually downloaded the soundtrack, had to listen to it properly, and some of the tracks on there are nice twists on some songs that you wouldn't expect. And when you then hear them in the movie, it just suits. It suits perfectly. There's one, I can't remember which song it was, where Harley is chasing down the car on her roller skates, and the music that's playing around that time, it's just brilliant, absolutely fantastic, and it's so appropriate for what's going on. Especially also the track when they're getting ready to go into the funhouse. That was just perfect music. And when they're fighting in the funhouse, again, there was just so many perfect points of music that was perfect for that scenario, and it kept in keeping with a Harley Quinn movie. Not a Birds of Prey movie, a Harley Quinn movie. So yeah, so we really enjoyed the soundtrack. Cinematography, every scene was nicely cut, every scene was really good colouring, set the tone perfectly. It still looked like you were in Gotham. Ace Chemicals, brilliant little arc to that, and looked the part. The funhouse was absolutely spot on. The thing that bothered me about the film and the cinematography was the editing. There was blatant points where it was cut and cut to the next scene, and it didn't feel like it flowed properly. Now, the story, how the story is told, it does jump around the timeline a bit, but that wouldn't bother me like other films, like how Quentin Tarantino does it. It doesn't bother me as long as the story flows naturally or the scene flows into the next scene properly. But it seemed to be cut short and start again, which probably similar to how I edit these videos, and you see me jump all over the place and edit things out. It just cut, start. Now for a professional, for me on YouTube, yeah, nobody cares. For a movie, no, you can't have that. And there was just certain things that conveniently happened to make the next scene go on. Huntress suddenly turned up on her motorbike at one point, which was just all very convenient. And it just cut, start, and it didn't flow, and that's not what you want from a movie. So that's one of the bad points I did have about the film. But other than that, really enjoyed the film. I'm only doing a quick review, guys, because this is a late review. You've probably seen 20 million reviews about this film, so I'm not going to go into it much deeper than that. The one thing I do want to say, and the one thing I did want to get off, is this has made me think back to Batfleck, and made me think, what if? What if we got the Batfleck movie we were meant to get, and this whole universe with the Suicide Squad and with Batman and Batfleck as Batman, would we have got what we wanted? And I think, to be honest, we would. And yeah, so that's the one thing. Especially there's an end credit sequence. I won't go into it because I don't want to spoil too much. There's an end credit not sequence, little line from Harley breaking the fourth wall, and it just made me think, God, we're not going to get a Batfleck movie. And it's just really disappointing, really upsetting. Obviously, I've already reviewed the new Batsuit reveal and what my thoughts were on that. Hopefully Robert Pattinson will deliver. But yeah, so with that, guys, I watched this with Tia, and so I'm going to go into scores now. Tia came out loving this. She's a massive Harley Quinn fan. She's got loads of Harley Quinn comic books, statues, God knows what else. This mallet. And she loved it. As far as she's concerned, that was a Harley Quinn movie, and she absolutely loved it. Rating wise, she was a bit Harley Quinn a gaze and gave it 10 out of 5. You know, that's how much she loved it. Me, because of the editing and the way it's been edited, and because I'm a bit of a traditionalist, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. So that gives it a total of 9 out of 10, which, to be fair, really quick score. So Harley Quinn, yeah. Margot Robbie, yeah. Birds of Prey, see what comes out in the future, if anything, of this. But with that, guys, geek out. Harley Quinn and the Fantabulous Emancipation.
Harley Quinn and Fantabulous Emancipation.
What it did make me feel, and what it did, and the soundtrack, that was the other thing I had to go into. Damn it, why didn't I do that? Soundtrack,